Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Okay, so I just want to talk about something real quick about Dr. Umar because a lot of his videos show up on my TikTok. I do think is an algorithm thing. Somehow they match certain content and he shows up. I don't go looking for him because he's not of interest to me whatsoever. I would never send him a penny. And I commit a lot of, what's the word, largesse in philanthropic slash magnanimous deeds every year. I donate to social issues and different causes. I don't always broadcast it because I don't want people hounding me for money because that's what people usually do. But anyways, story of my life, right? But I do give back to the community, especially when it comes to animals. I'm an animal lover. I'm a huge animal lover. So there's a lot of things, a lot of philanthropy that you don't see that I bestow upon my community that you're not aware of, which it's fine because I like to keep certain things private. Because as I mentioned before, is once you start disclosing all of your business, then people start knocking on your door because they want something from you. So we know how that goes. A lot of fake, superficial people out there. So, and I, excuse me, I try to give those people a wide berth. Okay, so Dr. Umar, he was talking about real quick, because I have to be very, very succinct and compendious in this video because I only have like 9 minutes left. He talks in his video about one of the reasons why he's against interracial unions, because if there's any wealth, acquired wealth, and or earned wealth, that it goes back into the white community. And I say to myself, first of all, who are you to gatekeep what people do with their money? If they want to throw it out the window, gamble it away, throw it in a fireplace, or donate it, that's their business. That's not your business, right? And the second of all is, instead of you dictating what other people should be doing in terms of their marriagehood, where is your wife? Let's talk about that. Let's make it a person-centered therapy session regarding you. Where the hell is your wife? You always talk about everybody else, what they should not be doing and all this and that. Where the hell is your wife? Let's talk about that. And there's an allegation that you are married to two people at the same time. Let's talk about that. Why aren't you with your children's mother or mothers if there's more than one? Let's talk about that. Because I know, typical Dr. Umar fashion, he always wants to deflect, take the spotlight off of him and place it on somebody else. So for any of you Dr. Umar proponents or fans, listen up, de-wax your ears. Now I know denialism is a very, very real thing, and it's to me a mental health issue as well. When you have all this evidence, all this overt, salient evidence that's right before your eyes, you choose to not see it. Let's talk about that. Why? Why is that? Why do you choose to not see it? But if somebody else were to do the same exact thing, you'll see it, you would go on this rampage, on this tirade, talking about, this person, A, B, C, and D. But then when one of your idols is doing it, all of a sudden, you don't see anything. You want to play the blind eye game. Why is that? Whenever you admire someone that you know is fraudulent in spewing hatred and divisions, etc., why are you acting like you don't see it? But if somebody else take that same behavior and just wrap it in a different package, and let's say it's someone else of Hispanic descent or European descent, you'll see it in them, but you won't see it in Dr. Umar, simply because he's a Pan-African. I find it quite disturbing. It's hypocritical. It says a lot about your character, and you're somebody I would not want to associate with, because I realize you can never do wrong. You can have evidence that is waving right in front of your face, inculpatory evidence right in your face, and you'll still come up with some bogus, lame, implausible, ridiculous excuse to justify that person's bad behavior. So to me, that says a lot about your character. And did you know, as a psychic medium, it's been known in the spiritual realm that usually people that think or feel that they're right about everything, that usually, can't say absolutistically, but that usually denotes a dark spirit. Did you know that? Yeah. Sylvia Brown years ago said it on, I think it was Montel Williams' show. Somebody in the audience asked her, how do you know if there's a dark entity around you? They're always right. And I'll tell you, that was a very powerful statement, and it's very true. You don't want to admit that you're wrong. The proper thing is, you know what? I voted for Trump. Now, in hindsight, I realize that I made a mistake. You see? That's how you handle your business. I'm just giving another example in terms of like politics. I supported Dr. Umar in the beginning, but after gleaning all these facts, I have a change of heart. Now see, that's how you handle your business. We all make mistakes. I voted for people later on, had major regrets. It's okay. You know, we're fallible human beings. We all make mistakes. But I just find it very interesting how Dr. Umar is so busy dictating what other people should be doing in terms of their dating patterns or their dating practices. But where the hell is your black queen? Does anybody ever ask that question? It's a very simple question. Where's your wife? You're telling everyone else, why don't you have another black woman? Because the first one didn't work out, the second one didn't work out. Like you said to that one guy in one of those interviews, why don't you have a black woman? What, you know, if this doesn't work out, you try another one. Well, what about you? Where's yours? Hell with everyone else. I want to focus on you. Where the hell is your black queen? And as I mentioned before, as I find it so interesting that you're so against, I hope you're watching this, Dr. Umar, because I don't care. Speaking the truth. I find it so interesting that you're always talking about interracial couples, your disdain and your repulsion toward those unions, but you love mixed race women. You love those European genes in mixed race women. Don't give me that bullshit, oh, that, you know, Africans dominate. No. If you place a mixed race person, I'm talking about just a typical, next to a fully authentic sub-Saharan African, like, you know, when the first enslaved people came here, they look nothing alike. They look very different from one another. So don't tell me, oh, one's dominant, because that is not true. Some cases, one's more dominant than the other, just like sometimes a white's more dominant. I've seen lots of mixed race people that can pass for white or look more European than African. So as mixed race people, we come in all different types, features, hair texture, skin tone, facial features. We're a very diverse, variegated group of people. Very diverse, okay? But I find it so interesting that you're so against white people in interracial unions, but why do you love mixed race people, especially the women? I know, it's because deep down inside is you adulate whiteness without giving credit to it, but you adulate it through mixed race people. Yeah, because if you're a true Pan-African, I don't want to hear your bullshit. Oh, well, the kids, I'm not going to condemn the kids because they didn't ask to be born here. You know, that's a bunch of crap. Because I can say to you, well, why condemn white people or white children? They weren't asked to be born. You see? Don't try that bullshit, that backpedaling crap with me, because it's not going to work. I said this before, and I'm going to say it again, is Dr. Umar is a very specious and sophistic person. A lot of what he says sounds correct, it sounds good, sounds believable, sounds credible, it sounds plausible, but if you really, really dissect and break it down, deeply flawed. He is riddled with contradictions, riddled. Just look at watch his behavior. He's always about the Cash App all the time, so it's always about this, and he disparages women. Now, if you're a woman and you care about yourself and you're a dignified individual, have respect for your body, you would remove the blinders, stop looking through a prism of bullshit, and see the reality for what it really is. He degrades women. He treats women like they're like some kind of sexual objects. He objectifies women sexually. And none of you have a problem with that? And even for the fellas, when you're watching this video, you don't have a problem with that? That could be your mother. So I guess you don't respect your mother, right? And if you have any daughters, you not respect your daughters? He objectifies women. And it's disgusting what he says. Watch the videos. And yet you're all still pro Dr. Umar. Has he done some great things? Yes. Is he articulate? Yes. Is he educated? Yes. Does he make a lot of sense about certain topics? Absolutely. But we're not going to ignore his egregious behaviors.